Junior Pro Kart heat number 3 then, making their way out. This time it will be Christian Oblag on pole position with Harrison Johns and Max Shields in 3rd place. So Shields with his 2 heat victories might not have this one as easy this time round. Johns creeps forward but then stops before the red light, so it looks like we should be good with that one, but we'll see whether the mark of the course feels the same. He's going to potentially hold on for 2nd there. Shields runs all the way around the outside and bounces over the curbs. Needed to get past Harrison Johns early if he was going to do anything about Christian Oblag in front of him. And Oblag has already opened up a gap of around about half a second there. So Max Shields is going to have to work, although 2nd place will be enough to put him in pole position for the final, because he's had 2 heat victories, so 2 wins and a 2nd place will certainly beat 1 win and 2 seconds. So that'll put him there or thereabouts for the final. Should put him on pole position 3rd if he holds on for 2nd. So it doesn't need to do anything silly, although a good opening lap now sees him closing right up on the back of Christian Oblag for the lead here with his 8-minute plus 1 lap race in Junior Pro Kart as Shields once again closes up into the hairpin at the bottom end of the track. Through the sweeping left-hander and then through that fast right as they head down onto the back straight. Shields is close, but not close enough, I don't think, to get alongside Christian Oblag into the bottom end of the track. And this now is whether Shields really wants to find a way through on Oblag or whether he is happy with that 2nd place. You know, he's quite happy with another heat victory, but doesn't really need it if he doesn't need to do anything silly. So certainly I don't think he'll be throwing any moves down the inside that are going to potentially ruin his race, as Oblang there in the white helmet with the neon blue has a quick look over his shoulder, and Shields then now will go all the way to the outside as Oblang takes a much more defensive line into that back chicane. And, here at Lydd, with it being such a long, thin track, most of the paddock you can't actually see the far end of the track as they head down towards that 2nd chicane, the bottom hairpin, and then they sort of reappear towards the back chicane. So down towards that far end, a lot of the drivers, if people are watching in the paddock from the viewing area, they do disappear somewhat, and then you're sort of hoping, waiting for them to come back, and in what order. The first 2 minutes of this race are complete. Shields close enough though to Oblang now through that chicane that he can certainly put pressure on the 76 machine in front. Maybe not quite close enough to make a move. So Shields, who currently leads the championship in Junior Pro Kart by 4 points from Sebastian Ferreira, who isn't here this weekend, although has been racing just a little bit further north, up at Rower on Friday. With Oblang 12 points back from Shields in 3rd place. A really tight championship in Junior Pro Kart as we see Shields once again hounding Christian Oblag. Oblang takes the normal line. Shields goes slightly more to the inside rather than running all the way around the outside of Oblang into that hairpin at the bottom of the track. Much closer this time, within half a kart length, but allows Oblang to take the corner much more comfortably. Does get on the power earlier as they run down towards this first chicane, and will once again close up hard on the brakes then as they go in there. Harrison Johns, personal best for him with a 43.401. Still 2 tenths between the 2 leaders though, hardly anything. Shields though pretty much pushing Oblang out of that corner to try and get the cutback once again. Will not have track position though, because Oblang gets the drive out of that right hand hairpin at the end of the lap. Heading towards like half race distance now in terms of time. We'll have that 1 lap addition at the end. And Shields noticeably quicker in certain parts, but not really having the position to get through on Christian Oblang, and hasn't really tried anything silly thus far. Doesn't really need to. Oblang the one going defensive to the inside, and I'm not sure whether Shields so far is even that bothered really about making a move on Christian Oblang, because it's a points game really for Shields in Junior Pro here is that knows that 2 heat victories and a second place, if it stays as it is, will put him in pole position for the final. So whilst he has closed up on Christian Oblang, hasn't made a move so far. There it is though, down the inside into the double apex right. If it was going to happen anywhere, it had been there. He's been getting a good run throughout the race. He is on the inside. Oblang's going to stick it out round the outside. Back into the lead though comes Christian Oblang. It says in the top corner, look how close they were as they came over the line. Shields was down the inside though into that final corner. And even on the previous few laps, he's had a good run though down that back straight, so knows where he can do it. But now, has he shown his hand too early? Will we see Oblang going much more defensive into that final complex of corners, that double right? So they head onto the back straight this time. Shields will once again close up, carries that speed, but now will Oblang go more defensive? He doesn't this time though. Thought he'd have at least parked the kart on the inside. Shields got the run down the inside, but wasn't close enough to get the nose down. Still only 1.5 tenths between the leaders, which has pretty much been that since the start, as they bounce over that exit curb on the inside. The little flick isn't, you don't really feel it, you just bounce over the curb, you barely even turn the steering wheel as they go onto the first intermittent straight before the second chicane. Shields then now following in the wheel tracks of Christian Oblang with 2 minutes remaining. Thank you to everybody that has got in touch. Redline card just going to go Max Grey Trex, you can do it. Honda's coming up again very shortly, although they've had most of theirs. They've got Honda 4 coming up in around about 2 races time after Minimax, as both Oblang and Shields all set personal best. Oblang with the fastest, John's also with a personal best of 43.282 for him. He's much closer to this leading Joe than what he has been in the previous races. He's now still within 5 seconds of this leading duo that has been a high-speed duo for much of this race, just pushing away. The front, Shields has had a go at leading, although be it for only about 3 seconds, as he got down the inside of Christian Oblang into the right-hander at the end of the lap. 48 seconds, so we're going to get 3 more laps. I think they're going to get round before the last lap board and the time elapses, so we're going to have 3 more laps here. We'll go up to 13 laps in Junior Pro. When it starts coming to the finals time for some of these classes, certainly the ones that are running at 33 seconds a lap, they're going to be at nearly 20 laps. As Shields this time goes to the inside into the back chicane. Can't get to the inside though. It would have been a brave move there, and Oblang was wise to it and had it scouted. Shields though now carries the speed down that back straight to get within half a kart length of Oblang. They do cross the line comfortably with 24 seconds remaining. 2 laps then, as the Oblang sets a personal best. It was the fastest lap of the race, although immediately eclipsed by Maximus Shields, and now Oblang going much more defensive into that second chicane. And will Shields get the run? He's going to go to the outside, see whether he can get the cut back down the inside of Christian Oblang. Oblang though has that one scouted as well. 2 drivers that know each other incredibly well, not just from JKC but for other series as well, racing nose to tail as we head onto the back straight. The time has elapsed. We'll go last lap board this time round, and I'm fairly sure Christian Oblang will be much more defensive into that final corner next time. Already there, chopping across the bow of Max Shields. Last lap board is out then between the 76 and the 181 of Max Shields. And Oblang far enough in front that he doesn't have to defend into the second chicane. The run out though sees Shields all over the back of Oblang. Oblang much tighter. Shields will go wide to try and get the cut back on the inside of Christian Oblang. Slots back in behind, and Oblang defensive then into the chicane. Will Shields manage to go round the outside and close right up on the back of the 76 through that final right hand flick as they head down towards the final complex of corners and into the last corner. Shields has half a nose down the inside of Christian Oblang. Has to relent there when Christian Oblang wins heat number 3 in Junior Pro Kart from Max Shields by 1/10.5. Harrison Johns comes over the line a lot closer to the leading duo this time at 7.5 behind for 3rd place. Using this round, certainly with a few others not with us, to pick up a decent points haul for our driver of the number 10 Junior Pro Kart.